John Doyle from OptixEQ, and today's video race of the day is Santa Anita's 11th race on opening day, the day after Christmas, and it's the American Oaks, a grade one, great race. Looks like a great betting race. So we're going to dig in, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through the four pillars, I say, of handicapping. Okay, pace, class, speed, and form. Okay, so we're going to start off with pace. And we're going to look at the plot. You here see the plot fit is a yellow. The contention is a snowflake, and the speed rating is 10. That's low. So this would favor horses forwardly placed. Now let's look at the run styles and then look at the plot. Okay, first the run styles in RPM. You have the 7 and the 4 as the early pace. There's really no E. So this race really is balanced toward early pace. In other words, there's just not a lot of early pace in this race. A lot of the horses in this race run styles to come from off the pace. Notice the 6 who's in quadrant 1 in a big square. Now, it's going to be about tactics with this horse. Do they kind of try to change the tactics of this horse? Or does the 7 still have an advantage? You can see the 7 is above the par line. That's that blue dotted line. And for people that don't know what that means is that is the par for the second call for this type of race, this type of horses, okay? The average or whatever, the standard, some people call it. So this is the only horse above the standard for the second call, the number 7. So I would still think the 7 has the pace advantage, even though the 6 looks like he plots better. It's just that run style is going to be a big deal on this. So you got to pay attention to both the run styles and also how the horse plots. Now, if they do send with the 6, that's a different ball game. So it's something to watch. It's interesting. It's complex. So that's something that we have to take in consideration, and we gamble accordingly. Looking at odds and all the rest. The horses that look best from off the pace, I think, are clear. It looks like on the standard plot, it looks like the 1 and the 11. Okay, maybe a little bit 2, and then when you get to the surface distance plot, again, it looks like 11 and 2. So I mean, the horse that kind of looks like best on both would be the 11. So late pace, off the pace horse, square 11 looks pretty good. On the pace, the 7 looks pretty good. So from a pace perspective, those would be the two I rank highest, 7 and 11. Okay. So now we're going to move on. I'm going to go to speed first. So I want to show you. Well, I'm going to take the last 90 days, and I just want to look at speed figures. And you can see when I sort them, I'm going to get rid of today's race, and then I'm going to sort it. You can see everyone's really hovering around 90, 92. I mean, you got a 94 and 97, the outliers, but pretty much it's pretty close. So you have horses like the 1, 5, 4, 7, 11 are kind of the horses. 1, 4, 5, 7, 11. You see the 7 and the 11 come up again here. So those are horses that from a speed figure look like it's competitive, look like they're competitive to win, and it looks contentious. You could even go all the way down to the 6, looks okay too, kind of, it's right on the cusp. But anyway, 1, 4, 5, 7, 11. So it's contentious. Next thing I want to look at is class. And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter on grade. This race is a grade 1. And it's going to be interesting because I'm going to show you another kind of dimension of optics here that be interesting to see. But I'm going to filter on grade 1 and grade 2 races. This thing will want to load. Okay, so I'm going to filter G1 or, that's what the two bars are, G2. Okay. Um, I'm going to blow this up because I know people are going to ask me, well, what was in that box? So you can see it, G1 or two vertical bars, G2. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to filter on that. I want to just take out today's race. I say greater than 0 here. And you can see that the horses that have kind of competed well in this grade 1 and grade 2 is the 1, the 3, the 4, kind of finished in the money in grade 1s and grade 2s. The 5 looks like pretty much the class of the field here. So 1, 3, 4, and 5, looks like 1 and 5 the best from a class perspective. However, I want to extend this a little bit because I don't know if you noticed this OFR. What does the OFR number mean? That's the optics fig range. So I'm going to clear this. I want to go back. I'm going to clear everything because I want to show you what the optics fig range is for today. And The reason I'm doing this is because this race, these grade ones, grade twos, these horses have been limited to 3-year-olds. Okay, so that's an important note. It's not the same as an open grade one, grade two, grade three. For older horses. So you see today's range is 91 to 97. Okay, so I'm gonna sort optics fig range, and I'm looking for 97, 91, that kind of range, right? So 90 to anything 90 and above. So you could see that the 11 fits in here. He's run a third and a close-up fifth in two races. The four also is in there. So you got the 1 and the 5, who we talked to, ran well in grade ones, but I've also included again that number 11 and number 4 kind of pops up again. So it looks like even though they haven't been in grade one, grade twos, they've run against older horses, older filly and mares, and they've been in races where the optics fig range has been what it's going to need to be today, 91 to 97. What does that mean? Is that the horses that were running in that race, we projected they've run speed figures in the last 6 months in that range. So it gives you not only, okay, it's a grade three, but what kind of grade three? It tells you the horses that were in that race, so to speak. So it's a very important thing. And so we move up the 4 and the 5, 4 and 11, along with the 1 and the 5 as class horses. So that's class. So I got 1, 4, 5, 11. And then finally, I want to go to form. And, just I don't have anything complicated here. All I'm looking for is horses kind of recency, maybe a keynote, maybe like alerts like third, first, second off a layoff, that kind of thing. So in this case, let's start with just looking at the last 45 days because that's the current form cycle. So you can see the horses that run the best figure in the current form cycle, 4 and 11. Okay, the 1 and the 5 haven't had a recent race. So important to note there. Also, the 6 kind of gets in there a little bit. And that's not the only thing, but I mean, you can see how these horses are working and all the rest. Some horses do better, second, third off the layoffs and all the rest. But in general, you want to look for horses that are recent and looking to improve off an effort. So, second off the layoff for the 4 and 11 again. Those numbers come up. So, if just kind of reviewing, we went from pace and we said 7-11 on speed. We said 1-4-5-7-11. Class 1-4-5-11, and then the form so far is 4-11. But one other thing in terms of form I want to look at is the distance. Which horses have kind of gone this distance. So I'm going to filter. I'm going to look for horses that have run 10 or 11 furlongs. So I want to just look anything longer. I want to eliminate today's race, so I say greater than 0 and finish. And you could see that the horses that have run today's distance and have finished in the money are the 4 and the 11. The pattern here, right? So I think the 4 and 11 are viable here. So let's go back and look at the all-important morning line. So you have the 4 at 8 to 1 and the 11 at 12 to 1. Okay, so I know where I'm going, right? I have a feel where my where I'm going to gravitate toward. So for me, those are the value plays, 4 and 11. Obviously, 1 and 5 are contenders. Just not going to get price on those. And then I would consider the 7 being, an underneath exotics, and maybe possibly the 6. We've talked a little bit about him, and he's got a couple of things. So, 6 and 7 maybe underneath exotic horses in this race. But just based on the morning line here, the 11 at 12 to 1 looks like a horse that you want to key around. So we've gone through all the pillars of handicapping. We've covered pace, speed, class, and form. And I think we've got a value play here in race 11 at Santa Anita on opening day. See, American Oaks is a grade one, pretty good race. So good luck, everyone. And if you want to follow us again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, go see us at OptixEQ.com. And by the way, I am going to be doing the last 5 races in a focus report. And those who remember that the focus report, I actually give you what our kind of bettable lines are, and also a lot of good information about the race and maybe how to attack it. So it's a good report. It comes if you buy the Optics Notes subscription. So do that. And I do the late pick 5 with a matrix too. So you can, if you're looking to bet multi-race to kind of give you a little bit of guidance. Okay, thanks a lot for listening.